Hey, it is an honor to be here speaking about a very special person. I'm here to talk to you about a life not only of joy, but of peace and happiness. A countless number of people knew her, and she was a good friend to many. Diana Guo is remembered as an inspiration to everyone. Her story has greatly impacted countless people and touched the hearts of many in the community. The first time I ever saw Diana was at a tennis match at Inglewood in 7th grade. I knew who she was, but I had never talked to her. When my sister introduced us, she ran up to me and gave me a huge hug. We instantly clicked at that very moment, and we were best friends from that day on, just that easily. Diana would greet everyone in that same cheerful way that she greeted me, with that comforting hug and adorable laugh. She included everybody. If she saw somebody sitting by themselves or being left out of a conversation, she would go and introduce herself and talk to them. She reached out to everyone, no matter what they looked like, how old they were, or who their friends were. Diana Guo had no enemies. She let everybody in and greatly cared about everyone, even if she had just met them. She was anything but shy. Diana had an extremely contagious smile. She had the most recognizable laugh on earth. It would boom through the air, and when you would hear it, you would feel yourself starting to smile. Diana was easily the most joyful person that I had ever met. You would rarely see Diana in a bad mood, and when she was, it was very easy to get her out of it. She would always have that huge smile on her face, and she said the funniest things. If I was in a crazy and joyful mood, I could talk to her and she would always one-up me. Whenever I wanted someone to talk to about anything, Diana was always there for me. One conversation with her would make you forget about all of the worries and make you leave all of your stress behind. When someone was at the lowest of their moods, Diana could joke and talk to them, and they would walk away smiling. When someone needed a friend, Diana was there in an instant. You could approach her with anything, and she would listen to you and understand you. Diana was very dedicated to her schoolwork and hobbies. She played cello in the Seattle Youth Symphony and made it to first chair. I used to come over and she would give me a private concert showing me all that she had learned recently and what songs she was practicing. Diana was actually pretty embarrassed about her hidden talent for some reason. Her music was beautiful. It confused me why she did not want people to hear her playing. Diana also spent a lot of her time playing tennis. She practiced at the Pine Lake Club all of the time, and she played varsity for her 3 years at Inglewood. She was extremely dedicated and committed to her playing, but she would help others also. She would always go out of her way to help people improve their serve and work on their backhand. We would get friends together and play tennis on the weekends, and she would teach us techniques that help us play better, despite how bad we were. This just symbolizes that Diana would offer infinite help to anyone who needed it. To be honest, I think when Diana passed away, it brought people very close and united many of her friends from every group. The closeness in friends is just what Diana achieved throughout her life. She was young and would have been able to go very far in her life. God needed Diana. He takes only the very best. So we know that Diana is in a better place now, and I feel so blessed that she came into my life, and even more blessed that I knew her as well as I did, and that she made such an impression and was such a positive influence on me. She was so happy and cheerful, and something definitely feels different about everyday life for me now that the happiest person I never knew is gone. Cancer. Cancer tore Diana out of my life, out of her family's lives, out of her friends' lives, her teammates' lives. I had heard about cancer, knew people who had cancer, but survived. In fact, my grandma died from lung cancer when I was very young. I was too young to understand death, and I had handled my grandma's death very well. But when everything seemed to be going right in my life, when I felt like I had everything figured out, and things just seemed to be as I wanted them to, so much disappeared. My best friend, taken away from the world because of her cancer. She had leukemia. On Sunday, July 27th of last year, Diana won her tennis tournament. I was in California, and she called me to tell me the news. I remember that conversation so well because this was, in fact, the last time I'd ever talked to her. On Monday, Diana was feeling fine and perfectly normal, showing no symptoms. Tuesday, Diana discovered odd bruises on her tongue, and she showed her dad, who knew this was not normal. He rushed her to the doctors, and they said that she needed to go to the ER. They took her to Overlake and gave her a blood test. The doctors discovered her white blood cell count was extremely high. She was sent to Children's Hospital immediately to get a bone marrow biopsy. They discovered that she had cancer living in her blood. She was diagnosed with leukemia on July 31st. There are two main types, and hers was far more aggressive and serious than the other. Her case was extremely rare, and there are only 500 of these cases diagnosed in the United States each year. Her white blood cells copied abnormally, and she had way too many of them that she was supposed to have, and she did not have enough platelets. She started chemotherapy treatment Monday, August 4th, and violently reacted to the medication. She became puffy and swollen and began internally bleeding. On the night of Wednesday, August 6th, Diana peacefully passed away. She made the entire hospital laugh, just like she did for each one of us. I know that many people wish that they could have known of her sickness or had time so that they could have gone to visit her and share a final laugh or hug. It was so much harder to see her gone so soon. I didn't even think it was possible. It was so unexpected. So many questions ran through my mind, but the biggest one was, why her? She was young, beautiful, and positive. There needs to be more Dianas in this world, but she was taken out of our lives. Cancer is not just a rare disease that you hear about. It affects everybody. Cancer is everywhere. 1 in 3 people will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. This is anything but a rare disease. It could happen to anyone at any time, and that's really scary. We are here to celebrate the lives of everyone who has lost their battle to cancer, survivors, and people who are still fighting. A cure for cancer will be found in our lifetime, and that's why this event is so important, and raising money for a cure is so crucial. This event is for cancer, for the cure. This is for you, Diana. I love you, and we all do, and we know that you loved all of us. You taught us lessons that no one else could teach. You shared memories with us that no one else could compare to. You're the funniest, most joyful person I had ever met. You made such a big impact on the lives of family, friends, and the community as a whole. You taught us to live our lives to the fullest, to be full of life despite how young we are. We will never forget you, Diana.